Last weekend, Chicago was home to an international gathering of aviators, the World Assembly of the International Association of Aircraft Owner and Pilot Associations, IAOPA.
It's important to U.S. pilots, number one, to know that there are general aviation pilots all around the globe that have the same passion for aviation that we do. They also understand that there are affiliates around the globe that share the same willingness to fight for those people in order to fly.
Now, in much of the world, they face many of the same issues we do, including overly burdensome medical certificate requirements.
The most important results was a renewed spirit of commitment to work together on a global scale to address the issues that general aviation is facing. Medical reform was one of the highlights of the conference that we had, and many other countries are saying, how can we do this? What do we need to do in order to get this passed? It would have the same effect on their country as it's going to have on the U.S.
An impressive number of U.S. and international aviation leaders traveled to Chicago to address the IAOPA delegates, including Dr. Feng Liu, the head of the UN's International Civil Aviation Organization.
I would like to acknowledge that ICAO is aware of and sensitive to the related concerns IAOPA and its community. For instance, regarding whether this modernization may be realized at expense of the general aviation community. But I would also like to reassure you that the member states of ICAO understand that a balanced approach is key to making the future system sustainable.
And Patrick Key, Executive Director of the European Aviation Safety Agency.
And for general aviation, what we have decided to do is to make our rules simpler and lighter, because we do not believe that it is necessary for safety to have only rulemaking as a way to increase safety.
U.S. regulators said they, too, are working to simplify regulations, particularly for aircraft and equipment certification.
The reason we can't get some of the technologies into general aviation that Pete just talked about is because our rules were in our way. Our own rules were in the way of bringing in safety-enhancing technology. So the FAA engineering team is very excited about this new change. The rule that will move toward performance-based standards. So the sort of watchword that we're trying to use at FAA is assume good intent. Assume pilots mean to comply. Assume that people are looking for ways to enhance their own safe operation, and let's find ways that we can work together to allow for that.
Well, after the assembly, many of the world's pilots traveled to Oshkosh, and like all first-time visitors, they were amazed.
And to see this much general aviation activity, everyone has just said they're overwhelmed. As we came in this morning, seeing them, the aircraft in the camping area on the North 40, they couldn't believe there are that many airplanes in the country, in the world, let alone at one airport.
At AirVenture in Oshkosh, Warren Morningstar, AOPA Live.